I am Kayla, and I am in recovery for sobriety from alcohol addiction. The time that made me realize that I needed help was when I would find myself stopping by the store every day, because I tried at the beginning to, I'll only drink on the weekends. But even though in my mind I would say that, that's not what would happen, and I would go by the store on the way home. And then when I would mainly drink wine, but when that was gone and I would drink large amounts of it, I would find myself trying to find other drinks. If there was liquor in the house, I would move on to that. So that's when I realized I had a problem. What made me want to change and made me realize I had to change was not remembering doing things with my kids. When I would put them to bed and I would stumble, I just wouldn't remember getting them to bed. I wouldn't remember myself getting to bed. It would be the next day on a weekend and I would be doing nothing but laying around. My kids would always say, oh, leave mommy alone, she's sick. And I realized I needed to stop. When I became sober, June 1st, I ended up giving it all to God. I honestly just prayed and gave it to God, and He saved my life. And I want people to realize that God can heal you from anything. But when I fully gave it over to Him, it changed my life. In order for someone to fully change, go through recovery and sobriety, they have to want to do it. It's when someone is ready and when it's their time. My time was when my time came, is how I see it. I feel that if someone is trying to help someone in recovery or through sobriety, to have understanding and patience, acknowledge their successes. If they do mess up, don't be too hard, because they could fall back into, oh, well, I messed up, so I might as well go back to what I was doing. But it's important to acknowledge the successes, but just being there. If someone is currently struggling, if they're currently thinking about going into recovery and sobriety through anything, I would tell them to know that you're not alone, that you're not a screw up. There's perfectionists out there and they don't want to admit flaws. That's a lot of the problem of people not recovering, is because they don't want to admit that they've messed up. But I've learned that everybody messes up. But you don't do it alone. You can't do it silently. Some people do, or they'll sit back and watch for a little while, but you have to share your story, even if it saves one soul. That's what saves people, is to see that it can be done.